It is April 4th, 2018, and this is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Mr. Matt Morgan and Raj Giri. And yeah, man, SmackDown go-home show for WrestleMania. Mania is a couple days away. Matt, are you hyped based on what you saw on SmackDown this week?
SmackDown picked it up for me a little bit. It definitely did. I mean, I liked it. It was bookended perfectly, I thought.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the stuff with Daniel Bryan and Shane, and then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn later in the night, they're, really, really building that. They tried to do a little more heavy lifting with Nakamura and AJ Styles last night, giving that some more action. We saw both Asuka appearing and another fake cash-in attempt by Carmela. Overall, they're really moving things along before the big show on Sunday night. So that being said, Matt, what did you think of that opening segment with Daniel Bryan and Shane? Well, Shane McMahon returning, but him and Daniel making it up. And do you think it was almost too good that it sets up one of them is going to turn on one another at Sunday?
No, there's no way Daniel could be turning heel, right? So we know that won't be the outcome. Maybe Shane, but then again, I don't think he can do anything because he's going to be getting that surgery, right? So this is just to make them have a Band-Aid, a little a few month makeup, so Shane can take time off to get his surgery done, do whatever he needs to get done, and then come back and pick up the storyline where they left off. I think that's all that is.
Yeah, I think. I think first, I thought SmackDown did a lot better job building the top matches than Raw did this week. I thought the AJ Nakamura stuff, that was the best stuff they've done, at the end of the show for this whole build. And I thought it was, they clearly were saying that this is the last time you're going to see Owens and Sami on SmackDown. They didn't say in WWE. So I wonder if they tipped their hat a little bit that they could be going to Raw. So I don't see a heel turn. I think it'd be idiotic to turn Daniel Bryan right now.
This is the WWE.
Yeah, they've tried it before, but I think the fans are just too into him. Timing's everything, and it's just not the time for him to turn heel. I don't know if it ever is for him, just because the fans have just a natural connection with him. And then Shane, like Matt said, he's going to have surgery soon, so it doesn't make sense for him to turn heel and just be gone.
Yeah. Although they love to write someone off TV with a beatdown, so maybe Daniel and Shane get the win, and then Sami and Kevin just tear into Shane. Or maybe they show up Tuesday. One last epic beatdown to Shane McMahon. Send him on his way.
You could do that. You could just have Shane stretchered out during the match. It's down to Daniel Bryan and the two.
Yeah.
And that's the angle. And then Daniel gets the win. You have 70,000 people chanting yes, going nuts. I think that'd be an awesome finish.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to this match on Sunday. I think this is one that they've really built well, and it should be good. They followed this up with Charlotte Flair versus Natalya. Now, this was a rematch on what they do 2 or 3 weeks ago, non-title match. This I thought was very good. Went on for quite a while. We had Carmela come out and almost do the cash in again, but this time Charlotte kicked the briefcase out of her hand. And after the match, there was an Asuka promo, a little face-off with Charlotte. Matt, what did you think of this, and how do you think they're building Charlotte and Asuka?
This was slightly better. I liked it. I liked this whole show, if I'm being honest. I really did. This was, like Raj said, I thought night and day different. That's how much I'll put it over than what Raw put out there heading into Mania. It did make me a little bit more excited. Because a lot of these matches on Mania, I'm realizing, are from SmackDown that I think I'm most excited for. Mm-hmm. Even the tag team match now. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. Other than that, I just think this show was fantastic. That segment specifically, great match. I'll always love watching Natalya work Charlotte. I've liked that match since NXT. I think they could never have a bad match together. Natty could get a little too. She's still doing her over-the-top cartoony heely thing because she's not a heel in real life.
Yeah.
But action-wise, love the match, love the tease, even though we know it was going to happen, and it keeps Carmela in the upper echelon of that women's division because she was forgotten about there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the match was really good. There's this weird thing they're doing on SmackDown lately with that. It's just awkward where the people from the previous segment are in the ring, and then they start the entrances for the next match. And, you know, after watching WWE for 15 years, you hear the entrance music and you just assume that they're part of the segment and that's going somewhere. It's just awkward. So I don't know why they're doing that, but they did that here.
It's an initiative that they're doing to see how it takes. Yeah. And my favorite part about this is, why do you guys always have to do it to SmackDown? Why never Raw? Why, like, can you be any more obvious? You know what I mean? That, hey, we'll just test and throw as much shit against the wall and see what's going to stick, and we'll use SmackDown to do it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we like SmackDown better at the moment.
Well, part of it's because they're not afraid to take risks. I mean, they're doing, now granted, it's very hit or miss, but at least they're trying something different. Raw.
I think they're trying the things that are likely to miss on SmackDown. You know,
what are they trying on Raw?
Stuff like this. Yeah, I guess they're not trying anything.
Brainstorming, I could have done without them trying that.
So Carmela, by the way, 281 days, now the longest reigning Money in the Bank holder in WWE history.
Really?
Yeah. So I thought this match was really good, Charlotte and Natalya. I still hated that Charlotte lost, you know, to Natalya a couple weeks ago when they're building her match with Asuka. Yes. She gets her win back here. Still made no sense to me the first loss, but anyway, this match was really good. Charlotte looked great, and I
like that
Carmela teasing cashing in. It's getting a little old, but I'm sure there's a reason for that. And a little spoiler alert: the matches after WrestleMania on SmackDown side, including the Tuesday's SmackDown Live, is Charlotte versus Carmela for the Women's Championship. So
interesting.
And then on the Raw side, it's Nia Jax and Asuka. Now, someone in our comment section,
what happens? What happens if there's I just thought of this, a DQ, Raj?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. Someone in the comment section suggested that Carmella comes in, nails Asuka with the briefcase, so that causes Charlotte to get disqualified. Asuka's streak stays in. She attacks Charlotte, gets the win, becomes women's champion. So you could do it that way, and you get both.
And you still got Asuka and Charlotte down the road, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
You still get that because we didn't get the clean finish. So you give these girls, I want 20 minutes from these girls. I really do.
Yeah.
Big time. I'm looking forward to this match. And give me 20 minutes of that match, knockout, drag out, and usually I'd be pissed. Like, oh, they gave us a screw job finish again. This is the one time I'm giving them permission to give us a screw job finish.
Yeah, I think
You know what I mean? So everything holds intact. You know what I mean? Because they booked themselves into a fucking corner with this undefeated stuff.
I think when you do the cash in, I think that it helps take away the crappiness of a DQ. You know, like when Rollins cashed in with Lesnar and Brock. I think with Lesnar and Reigns, people weren't disappointed that they didn't see a finish to Reigns and Lesnar because that cash in was such a surprise. So you do it. You know, and that can override or overshadow the DQ. So I think that'd be cool.
You know what, Raj? I just realized, and Glenn, is that I just realized that I always thought if I'm that what's his name lost that match back at Mania, and then Seth cashed in. That's how much that I guess finishes. I thought they matter. Maybe they don't, because I thought Reigns lost that match. And that's because of the epic beating Brock put on him that entire match.
Oh, you thought?
Remember that?
You thought you thought Lesnar beat Reigns and then Rollins pinned Lesnar?
I don't. Maybe I'm totally messing that up somehow. But it just shows you what you remember and what you don't.
Lesnar has only been beaten twice since beating Taker, and that was once to Taker, which was kind of a disputed finish, and then that Goldberg loss. But Rollins cashed in and pinned Reigns. Yeah,
that's right.
What'd you think of the little exchange between Asuka and Charlotte after Asuka doing the "No one is ready"? Charlotte grabbing the mic and saying, "I'm ready."
I thought Charlotte was good.
Yeah,
Asuka, man. Asuka, she's so over the top animated that it kind of takes you out of it. I think. At least to me, I thought her mixed match promo later in the show was way better than this over the top. I'm gonna get you, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
she's too much.
She's still accentuating the wrong words, right? And who am I? Because I did not learn the Japanese language, and I was out there for 2 straight years, so I can't talk. But she's accentuating the wrong words. You know what I mean? The wrong times of the wrong instead of the second syllable, she'll do it on the first, and she just throws everything off.
It's hard to take serious when she does that.
It is, and it's also the biggest part of it is, I can't believe I'm saying this, she's almost too charismatic. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Oh. Yeah, a little more mystery.
Think about it. She is that charismatic where she can hardly speak our language, right? But yet she's a ball of charisma. You could see it. It's just she's got to learn the language better, I think, is all it is. And she's I just think she's money. I do really think she is. She needs more work. She needs more English classes or whatever, English lessons or whatever. It's a real thing. I'm guarantee you that she's taking them. And she'll be good, man, because she's able to cross over into that huge market.
See, I don't even think that's it, because she did that promo later in the show for the Mixed Match Challenge, and she wasn't as over the top, and I thought it was way better. She spoke fine.
Oh, yeah.
Her English was fine, and I thought her promo in that was really good. I just think
English was not fine. Her English is never
fine. But it was effective. Like you got the point got across, and you felt
for
like
her
she
wise,
was.
Raj, remember what we said? Rooting for her wise, was it fine, or was it you
Well,
just look through the channels and you stop and you go?
Well, I think if you're promoted as a badass like Goldberg back in the day, you don't need a rah. I'm going to get behind this. You just need them to say, "I'm going to kill this person," and that's it, and make that effective. And that's all they need from Asuka.
You know what they've lost, Matt? To your point about her charisma almost getting in the way. Remember when this streak started and she came into NXT? Her smile was scary. When she was smiling, it was like, "What's going on here?" It was not that she was. I mean. I hate to use the term, but yeah, it's cute. It's charming now when she smiles, and it humanizes her. But as you've pointed out many times, when you want a badass, undefeated striker in the ring, you don't want someone charming. You want them to be scary above all else.
Yeah, and I forgot about that. She did have that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I liked her backstage promo with The Miz. Now, granted, they had multiple takes, but when she went to say something, Miz said, "I'll translate," and she said, "Oh no, I got this."
Yeah,
I thought that was cool.
I thought that was good. I thought her backstage promo was really good.
Yeah, but it goes to show, right? When they have multiple takes, that's why. Why do they put her out on live TV to do this?
I don't know either, brother. I do not know, but I do know, like in her matches, even guys, in between her moves, watch her facials, watch her body language. She's charismatic as F. She just is. Yeah. And they just need to rein it in and calm it down, especially, like you said, she's a badass. We don't necessarily want, like you said, somebody shaking the pom-poms and crap like that. We want friggin' badass facials, and less is more.
Yep. And I think it seems like they're keeping her on Raw, and I think she is just far. I think, Charlotte's really good, but I still think Asuka's on another level in ring than anyone else, and I think that's why they want to keep her on Raw. Just having that best worker, keeping them on Raw.
Total package wise, though, I'm sorry no one touches Charlotte.
Yeah, I agree. Or
she's
between Charlotte and Sasha.
Thing.
Sasha and
okay, I love Sasha too. I do. But she's two for me.
Yeah. Has Charlotte really had a good storyline yet, though? I was talking about this last night with some people on Twitter.
She had her chance, and she's a friend, and I hate saying this, Glenn. She had her chance, but it was, in my opinion, way too early on. Remember those busted promos she was cutting in the beginning of Raw?
Yeah.
With her dad and things like that at the very beginning of her run. She wasn't ready for that. Yeah. Promo-wise. That was a good storyline they gave her, but that's it.
Yeah.
Her and Sasha, I thought they had a good feud, but there wasn't much of a real story to it. But I agree.
Ric Flair overshadowed the whole thing. I mean, the guy's a legend. All props to him, but that was at the expense of Charlotte growing as a character, having him cheating to help her win all the time. Fans were paying attention to him. She was the sidekick almost there. I thought their breakup story was good, but even that was a little too rushed.
And her promos were very rough, if you remember. They were uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even that promo she cut on Rick when she was dumping him, you could tell like she had a hard time doing that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, man. That was just tough to watch. So we got backstage interview with AJ Styles, his side of the story leading up to the match with Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania. So, okay, let's unpack this. So, long wait from the Tokyo Dome. Not a dream match, it's a reality. Reality is AJ is going to beat Nakamura. So Shinsuke's angle on this is that AJ is too emotional in the ring. AJ's angle is what? What's his motivation going into this? Have they really built this as a rivalry?
I've just taken it, you guys, as he's the champion defending his championship against this guy who keeps kind of somewhat disrespecting him. And that's the way I've always taken this angle. Sorry.
Yeah, you know what? I wrote this on Twitter, but on TV they're calling it a dream match, right? But outside of the fans who know about their history and the stuff in New Japan, why would they think it's a dream match? You know, if you've seen Shinsuke Nakamura over the past year, he's been fine. He hasn't had these amazing takeaway matches that he's had, you know, in NXT or New Japan, and they haven't sold that story of their history and why it's a dream match. So that they were considered, you know, they're two of the best wrestlers before they got to WWE. They wrestled once. Nakamura won. He's been eating at AJ ever since, and AJ's been wanting that win back and show he's the best. That's a simple story.
Have I missed that part? Did they put that over about AJ wanting to get his loss back?
No, I don't think they brought up at all that AJ lost to Nakamura. They just said that they say Tokyo Dome, that they've wrestled before, but they haven't said who won.
Is that just the announcer saying it, though? Or is that AJ saying it?
I think it's just the
Tokyo Dome.
He said they're far from the Tokyo Dome. He's mentioned it.
Okay.
But not the loss. He's mentioned
not the loss.
Well, to Raj, I was going to say to your point was, here's the thing you need to remember, though. You need to remember this is WWE, and this is Vince's thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Same thing with giving me my stuttering character. When I go, but Mr. McMahon, I think 6 months ago, you know, I was cutting promos on team, you know, in the background of Team Lesnar and whatnot. I was talking. How are we going to tell these people I'm stuttering? Did I get hit by a bus? What are we going to say? And I remember him saying something like, "I tell them what they think. I swear to you."
Well,
and, you know, and then. So what I'm thinking is this: when they keep saying dream match over and over, here's the way they're playing to us. You know, the fans that watch all kinds of wrestling, especially New Japan, and love it and love that matchup, right? And then you have the younger generation who are like, why? If you're worried about why would they be calling this a dream match? They don't care. It's because they're forcing it down those kids' throat and saying, guess what? This is a dream match. We said it is. We put it in the lights. Therefore, it is.
But do you think that's connecting?
I don't know what connects with the kids, that demographically speaking. I don't. Those 10-year-olds, cool shirts, you know what I mean? Kofi Kingston, they think is cool. You know what I mean? So I don't know what I have no idea.
Yeah, and speaking to your stuttering gimmick, and you just said Kofi Kingston. Remember, they dropped his accent just in a backstage throwaway segment. So I guess they could do that.
Did you guys watch his photo shoot on the?
No, I like that show too. No.
It's good. What's funny is he talks about CM Punk for about 2 or 3 minutes. Now he speaks of him like he's dead, like he's no longer with us. But I mean, he just really puts him over. Talks about how much he enjoyed his time with the guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, he still visits him in Chicago. Yeah, they're close. They were travel partners. And CM Punk would call him his housewife. I mean, his road wife. So.
Always befriend the guy with the bus. I think that's the most important backstage tip.
Good move.
From that. Yeah, man. But I highly recommend it. Photo shoot's been killing it on the network, and Kofi's is a great episode.
But I just think, Matt, to your point about what is AJ's motivation, I just think if they mention that Nakamura has a win over AJ, they don't have to say it was in New Japan. They just say he has a win over him in the Tokyo Dome, so you don't have to say New Japan. It gives the fans more of a reason why AJ needs to win this match, as opposed to it's just a title defense.
Do you open up a can of worms then of why can't we see a highlight of it or a picture of it or something like that?
You might, but speaking of which, do you know New Japan, they uploaded the AJ versus Nakamura match from the Tokyo Dome, the full match. So it's on Wrestling Inc. this morning, so check it out. But yeah, it's but yeah, I mean, maybe, and you know, they could show pictures of it. You know, I think they have shown pictures of. Didn't they show pictures of AJ or the Gallows and Anderson?
Gallows and Anderson, they did. I thought for sure they did.
Yeah,
with them.
They've always walked a line though with the Japan. I mean, same thing when Baszler and AJ went against each other a couple months ago. I think.
You're WWE. Listen, there's nobody even close to you guys. It's not.
Yeah, you don't have to be. Right, you don't have to be so defensive.
I think a year ago, I think they have more reason to be defensive now, probably in their mind, than they would have a year ago. But yeah, it's tough to build a match based on stuff that happened outside the company that they're not going to explicitly talk about.
But yeah, Zach mentioning in the chat, yes, it's an awesome match. If you haven't seen it, go to WrestlingInc.com. It's like the 5th or 6th article down, and watch that match. It's awesome.
Yeah. Rusev versus Jinder Mahal. A preview, perhaps, of what's to come. Bobby Roode was on commentary. And, of course, after Rusev picked up the win with the Machka kick, we had Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere. Bobby Roode came in the ring. Bobby and Randy were standing tall. So here's what I have to ask about this, Raj. Now, going based on your prediction system, Rusev picked up the win here, but Randy standing tall at the end. Who's definitely not winning on Sunday?
Told you, Randy, and your system is flawed. I've said this 1,000 times.
I think I said Randy was winning. Didn't you? You said Bobby Roode was winning, right?
Yes, Bobby's winning.
Yeah, so I said Randy was winning. Now I'm thinking he's not. Now I'm thinking it might be Jinder.
Yeah, he's the only one that definitely cleanly lost last night. But did you hear that reaction for Rusev with the win and the entrance? Yes. And when Aiden did the pause and people chant, how could Vince not want that at Mania?
There is the rumor that Rusev had asked for his release a little while back, and that's when he got put into the four-way. So, if that's the case and they decided they're pushing him, he could win. But based on the math, he's not winning. That it could be any of the other three guys, but Rusev's not winning.
And this is going to do disservice to Bobby Roode winning, by the way, by putting Rusev in this match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's a fan favorite right now. People like him.
Bobby as a face, it's just so... You know what it is? He's doing the same character he did in NXT. They're just not calling him a heel, and he's not being a dick.
But he's smiling up way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it always comes off insincere.
Smile.
Yeah, well, hey, what did Vince say? Everybody loves a guy who smiles.
Yep.
Yeah, his character, there's just not, you don't get what his character is, right? Like he wears this robe, which is kind of an arrogant thing. He says he's glorious, but then he's a smiling, happy baby face. And those two things don't really correlate.
They don't. It's annoying.
Got to do a heel turn, man. Maybe he loses a Mania, and then Tuesday he shows up in a robe, but it's like a bathrobe looking disheveled. He's depressed. He can't understand where it all went wrong. And then the heel turn. Yeah,
with the way Bobby Roode is acting right now, really what fits him is his beer money character,
Yeah.
Where he's just kind of a normal guy as opposed to coming out looking like Rick Rude and then being super happy.
Right.
He'll get a good entrance at Mania, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully. I don't know. They seem to only do the cool entrances for the guys at the very, the biggest matches, but we'll see.
Or those that have cool entrances potential. Do you know what I mean? Like Nakamura, I imagine, is going to have a really dope entrance, don't you?
I hope so. They haven't done one yet, except for his first pay-per-view. I think they had the violinist, but NXT, they're miles ahead of the regular main roster pay-per-views as far as entrances go. Like the stuff they do for Aleister Black, and and when he's not in the main event, they do all this cool stuff. And then the regular WWE pay-per-views, it's just regular. They treat it like another show.
It's true.
I just remember with Nakamura, though, what did they do his last takeover? It wasn't one violinist. They had like 4 violinists, but not in unison. It was just like a relay race of people walking with him to the ring. I want like the full orchestra, bring out, a string quartet, do something a little more impressive for this.
Yeah, he's in a world title match. I'd like to see it.
Yeah. Man. So yeah, that match last night. And then we got the pre-record from Shinsuke. So good on them for doing this, man. And Shinsuke nailed the take, I thought, in giving his... Now, the thing, AJ's too emotional. I still don't get that angle. But I like that he got to talk a little bit and show his character more.
Again, I think... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
I agree with Glenn on that, actually. I agree.
Yeah, I think the emotional thing is just... I don't see how that resonates. I don't see how that's a big enough insult to get you... gets you really mad. Again, if you just brought up that past loss and be like, Nakamura, just keep saying, I beat you, AJ can't beat me, and I've proven that. And that's it. And then that would get under his skin.
I was just going to say, yeah, that would. I'm thinking the whole patting on the head during the tag match.
Yeah.
Instead of tagging him on the hand. These are all things he's doing to get his goat, right? To get inside his head and screw with him a little bit. That's what I think he means, though, Glenn, by you know what I mean?
Yeah.
By saying he's too emotional. He's too easy to rile up. And in real life, that's very true about AJ. Not saying he's a hothead, but he's incredibly, when he's passionate about something, he gets red in the face and loud.
But show it. Show, don't tell.
And then you won't be able to understand a word coming out of his mouth because his accent triples.
Yeah.
It triples when he gets hot.
Yeah, and it's not like AJ's been on the main roster for years, and it's not like that's been costing him matches. So,
right,
it's like, remember back feature 2, they had to give Marty McFly a fatal character flaw, and I was like, oh, if somebody calls him chicken, he loses his mind. And I was like, where was evidence of that in the first film? Like, apparently that's his tragic downfall.
Well, he was never called chicken in the first one.
Yeah,
so.
But I'm just saying it's shoehorned in, and that's what it feels like with AJ.
Yeah, it's something they just came up with, and even though there's no storyline evidence of that from the past, for sure.
Oh man, but good on Shinsuke. I thought that was a good promo. They should do more of that. Let him talk. Use the best bits of it. Backstage promo from the New Day, interrupted by the Usos, interrupted by the Bludgeon Brothers. Now this was to hype the network, but I thought this was kind of a cool way to build their triple threat tag team match. Also think it's interesting how much they're leaning on the language WrestleMania is free with your new subscription to the WWE network. But that's a weird statement to put out there, to put that mental imagery.
Yeah, they do that. They did that last year too. I think it just makes it seem like it's not. It takes some of the specialness away from it. I get why they're doing it. They want to bump that network subscription number. They want all these people coming in for Ronda Rousey to know that they can watch the show for free. But it just does kind of, like, if you hear Conor McGregor versus Mayweather and you hear it's $100, you're like, wow, that's something you got to see. It's, people are spending that much for it. You hear it's free, you're like, I'm going to watch it, but wow, that must mean no one cares for it, so they're giving it away for free. I don't know.
This is the one show that you don't give away for free. I don't get it. I mean, I get the whole wanting the subscription rate to go up. Great. But doing so at I don't know, I guess we're not leaving, right? We're not going to go on strike and say we're canceling our subscription because you're giving away the good stuff for free. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is a method to this madness. I just don't like seeing it.
Well, there's a high churn rate with the network that's way higher than anything else. And I think part of that is because people do cancel and they just sign up for this free subscription under a different email address. So they, and as long as you just keep using free different email addresses, you got the network for free.
It doesn't come up on their IP addresses, though, to diffuse that?
I mean, Netflix doesn't even do that. And most services...
Well, then how do we know how real these numbers are then?
We don't.
They do. Well, that's the thing. You don't. Yeah. I mean, it's who's subscribed at that time. But yeah, because of the churn, you don't know how many of those people are just keep on signing up for... Like, So I had signed up for several accounts just to see like what kind of promotions come in. I got my regular account. I got one that I signed up for as a paid member and then canceled. And then one as I signed up and never paid, just to kind of see the different kind of promotions. And I'm getting all the time. I'll get 3 months for 99 cents or, 99 cents a month. To your
aliases, mrraj@gmail.com.
Well, it's different email address. I mean, I've kept my one. But it's just interesting to see the promotions that you get if you've signed up before.
Remember, I'd forgotten about this. Remember when the network launched, you had to buy 6 months. You couldn't go month to month originally when it came out. And they cleared 1 million or barely cleared 1 million with that. I think the easier they make it for people to fake it, it devalues it more and more. And when you look back in the grand scheme of things, Matt, I know you talked about this before, their fatal flaw will probably be giving away WrestleMania for free. They should have fenced that off at the beginning, so it was like you get, or maybe the big four you have to pay extra for, because now they can never go back.
Well, I felt like when they first started this, they should have had the big four on pay-per-view, And again, as a fan, I love it this way. But as a business, you have the big four on pay-per-view. All the other pay-per-views are on the network. And you could do post shows like WrestleMania post shows and the pre-shows on the network, but have the actual show on pay-per-view, because that's a huge chunk of revenue you're losing by putting that for free on the network. And at the very least, have it so you can't subscribe for free, a free subscription before WrestleMania. You know, UFC will give away a month of Fight Pass, but that's before they have a big fight. They don't allow you to watch a big fight for free.
Yeah.
Anyway. But anyway, it's good for us.
But
right?
WrestleMania is free when you sign up for the WWE Network.
Yeah.
Okay, so Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Mojo Rawley, and Primo making his first appearance on WWE television in almost a year versus Zack Ryder, Fandango, Tyler Breeze, and Ty Dillinger. All these guys, most of these guys are in the Andre.
I think this was to promote the Andre. So Primo's on WrestleMania, and John Cena couldn't get on.
Oh man, and you know, my first thought was, where was Mike Kanellis? We learned this morning.
Can I say one thing real quick about that backstage segment? The New Day and the Usos. I thought that was really good when it was the New Day and the Usos.
Oh, the Bludgeon Brothers.
As soon as the Bludgeon Brothers came in, it just got corny as hell. They're just too damn corny with the mallets, and then they hit the camera.
Yes, man, it's too hokey. It's gimmicky and hokey as hell. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think Road Dogg feels like that's his Braun Strowman ×2.
Drop the mallets. You know, fine if you call them the Bludgeon Brothers, but drop change the costumes a little bit, drop the mallets, and because it's too cartoony.
This is Road Dogg's gimmick?
No, I mean, it's just, all theory, right? We don't know who does what creatively.
Luke Harper said Vince came up with it.
Oh, even worse.
See, he said Vince came up with the mallets. Yeah.
I was 100% going to say, I swear I was about to say that in my next sentence. I guarantee that was more Vince. Road Dogg is creative as freak, dude. Like, I would be shocked if he
actually
came up with that.
Here, I never mentioned this before. So people crap on Road Dogg a lot on social media. He's blocked a lot of people because they blame him for SmackDown, and they blame him.
What about SmackDown? It's better than Raw.
I know, but there's
just how it's gone downhill the last couple of years.
So here's what's really funny about this is he doesn't. He's not one. There's some wrestlers that like every single tweet that they're tagged in, right?
I must be out of touch.
I did a reply. I thought this was interesting. I did a reply to someone else that said, "Don't you think they need to get rid of Road Dogg, blah, blah, blah?" And I did a reply that said, "Look, it's unfair that you're picking him out. We don't know what he's stuck with and forced to do versus what's his idea. He's probably just trying to make the best of a bad situation." Road Dogg liked that tweet. I thought that was really interesting, which gives me sympathy for the guy that maybe he is just doing what Vince says.
Oh, of course he is.
Of course.
Everyone is.
Yeah.
Look at the Bludgeon Brothers. I think this would be a great idea. I was watching this show on HBO the other night. Oh, really, Vince? The show has been on for like 10 years now. It's the most popular show on television. Oh, that show?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I think we should be doing that with our two guys. Harper, he'd be perfect. And then he puts them on it, and now Road Dogg's stuck. How do I get them into the show now? You know what I mean? And that's not his gimmick, his baby, his idea. He's creative as hell. All you have to do is go back and watch the old DX stuff. Say what you want. DX was not cool to me until Billy Gunn and mainly Road Dogg got on the mic.
What? You mean when it was Triple H, Shawn in China?
No. After Shawn left.
Gotcha.
When Hunter was the leader,
yeah.
X-Pac came out for a cool promo. Great. They still weren't cool to me yet because Hunter was leading them.
That did happen that same episode.
They got cool when Road Dogg started talking and doing his whole, you know what I mean? And they combined that.
Yeah, he's money on the mic. I thought he was fantastic.
No, the thing with Road Dogg is it's Vince saying, this is what we're doing, and you make it happen, and then they change the show around that direction. So
square through circle hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an unenviable position to be in, trying to make your boss's dreams a reality when you don't agree with what he's doing.
So
someone bringing up that Road Dogg was the naturally coolest one in DX, and I kind of Triple H too.
It's weird seeing him now, looking all middle aged.
Yeah, Triple H
took a long time on me before I'm like, all right, he's cool. It took him to come back after his injury for me to finally take him in as, okay, he's a top act. He's not the guy on the outside looking in at Austin and Kurt and The Rock. You know what I mean? At the time, is like he's full-fledged the top guy. And I just thought he got cool around that time.
Yeah, yeah. You remember when Triple H first turned heel and broke away from DX? People were calling him a flop. They were like, he's not making it. The Rock would put him over like every other week, and it wasn't doing anything. And then, finally it took Triple H a while. They really stuck with him. Like a lot of guys they would have given up on with how hard they were pushing him. Right.
And the whole think about what I'm not saying he didn't. He worked his ass off. Let's just be clear. But he had that nice storyline there with Stephanie McMahon. That doesn't hurt. Marrying the boss's daughter and pulling that swerve wedding and the McMahon Helmsley era. When that started, that you know what I mean?
That's really, when it took off.
Really lit a rocket. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because before that it wasn't going anywhere.
You hated him. Yeah. You hated him. He was such a good heel.
The storyline where he like raped Stephanie McMahon. You remember that?
Yeah, I was dying laughing, but yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And going, how is this lady really believing she's talking right now? Come on.
Yeah, that Vegas wedding, that drive-through wedding.
Which all the weirder that they ended up married and having kids together in real life after that. Yeah. That would be like if we found out Lita and Kane got together and we're like dating now and be like, oh, that's a weird twist of
that happens a lot in wrestling where people start dating on screen and it ends up really happening.
Yeah, no, it's true. Man, so where was Mike Kanellis last night in this match? We learned this morning, Wrestling Inc. has the story. Mike and Maria Kanellis welcomed their child into the world. Man, just so many parallels to the Miz's life.
Yeah.
Wow. Really?
Yep.
That's awesome. I'm happy for Maria. Good.
Frederica Moon, weighing 6 pounds. So she's tiny. Yeah. Gave birth this morning. So congrats to them.
And Primo got a break. Primo's in the Andre now. Where's Epico?
With the ugliest
Epico's injured, right?
I think he was out with injury. But yes, the trophy. Why are they... This year it's so obnoxious how they're having the guys eye it and like
fondle it.
Yeah,
Matt Hardy was fondling it on Raw.
Why is it yellow?
I think it's the same one they've always used, right? It just maybe it just looks more yellow. Maybe they painted it. Yeah,
it's supposed to be gold, I'm sure.
Making it pop.
Oh man. So yeah, Corbin Ziggler.
Yeah, this was a showcase for Corbin to get a win. End of story.
Yeah. I miss his old entrance with the lights turning red, the 4 dots, the old music.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about where Baron Corbin's at with all this. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes after Mania. We had Sammy and Kevin. So no real new substance in their promo, but man, that energy on the announcer's table, just going back and forth, interrupted by Shane and Daniel. Daniel pointing out this is the last time you will see them on SmackDown Live. As Raj said earlier, good chance this means that if they lose, they'll go to Raw. So what did you think for this, putting the bow on it, Matt, in this feud, this match?
Very well done. I'm excited about this match. This is another one that I'm very excited about. Yeah.
That energy was great. I mean, just seeing them on the announcer's table and going back and forth like that. So Raj, how do you think this is I mean, would you say this is successful as the main SmackDown feud that it has been since Hell in a Cell? I mean, I guess if Daniel wasn't cleared, this would be a bomb at this point because we'd have no conclusion to it. How much do you think that's helped?
I mean, Daniel Bryan being added to this was first of all, I think Sammy and Kevin, their promo was the best WrestleMania related promo in the past month. Like as far as building a match, like what's been better on the mic than what these guys did?
I mean, John Cena.
John Cena.
Yeah.
Not serious. Not serious. I think Matt and I had the same joke loaded up and ready to go.
No, fight me on it, message board. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm just
Did you
joking.
guys see the tweet today? So this Twitter account, a novelty Twitter account, not Jim Ross, tweeted out that, the Swerve Sunday will be John Cena will be in the ring calling out The Undertaker. Out comes Vince and Triple H and Stephanie. And they revealed that there was no Undertaker, and the last 15 years have been a dream. John Cena was cut in 2003.
Yeah.
I was like,
remember when they had the fake Undertaker when it was Brian Lee?
Right.
They have Brian Lee come out as the Undertaker and Cena beat him.
I think Michelle McCool comes out and says, "Hey, stop bugging me about what's going on with my husband."
But seriously, I thought Sammy and Owens, their promo was great. I would have liked to see a little more with them and Daniel Bryan and Shane, like have Shane and Daniel Bryan fight him off or something physical. But
maybe they couldn't. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Shane is probably pretty limited and wants to save everything for me.
And let's be clear about something, guys. There's no way if Daniel Bryan didn't come back into this, in my opinion, it would have worked out in a three-way. I really think they would have switched gears quickly, and we would have seen Sammy versus Kevin.
I think they would have had to get Shane on somehow, though. Shane is the talent contract that he has is
referee. Then he's hurt or something. You know what I mean? He's banged up, or whatever, sick.
Yeah, they could have. But this match with Daniel Bryan involved, I think this is probably the one I'm probably looking most forward to.
Yeah, it's 1A for me, and AJ and them is 1B. Two SmackDown matches. Chill out, fans, on shitting on SmackDown so much.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. And number 3 would probably be Roman and Brock, just because I'm pretty curious with that one. And they had a hell of a match last time, so I think that'll be.
It's going to be a great match. I'm sure we'll get to it. But that's going to be a great match. But what are you looking forward to though? It's obvious.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm curious about how the crowd will respond. It's not necessarily the match itself or who's going to win, but how the crowd will respond, how Lesnar does. Because Lesnar, if he's leaving, he's checked out. Will he even care? Will it be a quick match? So I'm just kind of curious with the intangibles of it, as opposed to the match itself.
Yeah. And then we had the final match of the evening: AJ and Shinsuke versus Gable and Benjamin.
I loved how they showcased Gable at the very beginning. In the beginning, just doing the amateur style wrestling, chain wrestling. Shinsuke's background was a perfect match for it. I liked it a lot, actually. I love this match. Definitely a main event worthy match as far as what they did in that ring goes. But again, I liked what Gable did in that match, believe it or not. And I know out of the 4 guys, he's probably the lower man on the totem pole, right? We would agree, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Slightly lower than Shelton. And I thought he shined through in the very beginning of this match. And it was a job well done by someone who's comfortable with how over he is at the moment and wrestling at the top of the card in Shinsuke. A lot of times guys won't give someone like that kind of shine. And, Shinsuke's he was a fighter, correct? He was an MMA fighter, right?
Yeah.
So for him, those guys have egos usually. They don't let people out wrestle them and outchain them, and he was allowing him to do that out there for a little bit, and it really made a difference. That's wrestling 101 right there. Try to shine up your baby, the lower guy if you could, and make him more serious looking, like a more serious threat. So when you eventually beat him, it means something. Wrestling 101, Shinsuke's comfortable with who he is within his own skin and where he is on the card, and I just wanted to acknowledge that because a lot of times it doesn't get acknowledged when the guys do good business like that.
Yeah, I thought this was great. Like everything involved. I like the match itself was good, but it was kind of the backdrop to the story. But I liked I thought the end of it was really cool. I loved AJ faking the phenomenal forearm and then just smiling and like laughing at Shinsuke while he's kind of crouched down. This is something I wish they would have done like a few weeks ago. I know AJ had that knee injury, minor knee injury, and they've been limited, but it would have been cool if they started off with stuff like this, where they're playing mind games and AJ's trying to get in Shinsuke's head because Shinsuke's in his or something like that. But I thought this was really cool. This was the best angle they've done for it.
And good storytelling, you guys, because they set it up like with what? Shinsuke going for his gimmick last week and putting the brakes on at the last second, scaring AJ half to death with it, right? And AJ repaying the favor, just something small but something big at the same time.
Yeah, I will say. So I liked it. I will say, so I still, even with SmackDown last night, there was no build for any of the matches that felt larger than life WrestleMania. This was huge. You know what I mean? So, but
for me,
okay.
Good. What's going to be huge is Daniel Bryan's entrance.
Yep.
His shine or comeback during his match. AJ and Shinsuke's entrances, along with false finishers, will be the loudest parts of, in my opinion, of that. That's the stuff I think I'm looking forward to the most here. But as far as superstar versus superstar, this is an epic, match that we never would have seen before, but we're seeing it here on Mania only, folks. Like, I don't have any of that with this show.
Yeah, and you know what? Daniel Bryan could have been, because I felt like when they did that beatdown angle, felt like they could have followed strongly with that. And instead of Daniel Bryan coming out and being like, okay, you guys aren't fighter anymore, but you will be if you lose at WrestleMania. And just come off more strongly from that angle, as opposed to the way they did it, where they just kind of announced on social media that, just casually announced that it's going to be a tag match. And that was, I don't know. I just felt
saying, when I say epic, I mean John Cena versus The Rock.
Right. But I felt like the Daniel Bryan beatdown from Owens and Sammy was the closest thing to something that seemed really big, that got everyone's attention. But yeah, for sure, Matt, I know what you're saying. Like a larger than life match. Anything
with Undertaker in it, usually gives us that every year.
Yeah. You think?
Right?
You guys think there's actually going to be a match between Cena and Taker, or you think it's just going to be a segment?
Segment?
They announce it for next year?
I don't think they'll. I think if Taker doesn't wrestle this year, he's probably done. I think there's a reason for it.
Well, wait a minute, Glenn. You know what? You just stirred something here. You know what? They've done it with The Rock a year, and John's going to be gone.
Yeah.
I mean, we keep saying, how could they throw away an Undertaker match like this? Are you kidding me? There's no build, and every week kept going by, and now we're here. So he might be onto something there. Actually, what about a whole year build?
And Taker says, "Hey, if you beat me next year, I'll retire." Could you imagine how much people shit on that though? If they're coming out and announcing a match for next year as opposed to that night.
Well, John gets his ass kicked, obviously.
Yeah.
In the segments, right?
Yeah.
But there's your answer, And then everyone, I don't know. Yeah. I'm desperately trying to find a way for them to save this.
I think already, though,
if they don't do a match, I think a lot of people are going in with the expectation that they are, just with the fact that he's been challenging every week.
Yeah.
Just make people think, a lot of people think, I think most people think that they are going to wrestle. And they would feel gypped if they didn't.
I will feel gypped if we get nothing out of Undertaker.
Yeah. Even if it's just an appearance, I think people will feel gypped.
Yeah. What did LeBar say about this? He's been the one banging this gong for at least 6 months now that this was happening.
No, that was just his prediction. He doesn't.
Yeah, I know. But everyone was so certain about this. I mean, I feel like Meltzer, I feel like other people are continuing with that certainty. But, I mean, at this point, I kind of just don't care given the way they've built it. I feel that no matter, unless they go out there and put on a 5-star match, which probably not going to happen, how do they pull out this nosedive? I mean, this build has been the antithesis of hype.
I gave it to you, and it was your idea. What the hell, Brian? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, but then they really have to I don't know, undo a lot of this crap.
People will be disappointed because a lot of people are expecting them to have a match.
Don't you think a lot of people would be disappointed who went last year, though, thinking it was going to be his final match? You saw all those posts online. Really. Fathers and sons, those camera things, people like teary-eyed crying. They're selling the plaque, the thank you Taker with the piece of the mat. I think
they did that after the streak ended too. I think, I think people with Taker, they just want to see him. So they're not, I'm sure a lot of people wish, especially after seeing how he looked last year, probably do wish that he was, would retire. But
they want to see his entrance though at Mania.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at it when he showed up at Raw 25. The place went nuts.
Yeah, that was, again, one step forward, 5 steps back with that promo.
Yeah,
that he cut. Although I do think the American Badass thing is more likely now, given how they've built it. That it could involve Kid Rock. Actually, my bigger question that's been lingering this entire podcast, Raj, since you dropped the news that Rusev asked for his release, I'm thinking, what in the hell would his indie name be? How does he capitalize on Rusev and Rusev Day on the Indies, given his real name.
Do you spell Rusev differently, maybe?
Yeah, he just goes to Alexander.
Or Rude something.
Because his first name was Alexander Rusev, right?
Yeah. Yeah. His real name, Miroslav Barnyashev.
That doesn't work. Day.
Yeah.
Say Day after all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You'd have to walk with somebody next to you wearing a shirt that says Day on it to fit his first and last name on the other shirt.
Yeah.
Rusev, he's got the personality that I could see him blending in with guys like the Young Bucks and stuff like that, kind of ironic but funny personality.
Funny guy.
He is a funny guy.
No.
Yeah. So what else? What else do we got? What else is happening in the world of wrestling?
So Paul Heyman did an interview. He said that Brock Lesnar is most likely leaving. There's no hints of him re-signing with WWE. If he does, it's been very quiet, or if he has, it's been very quiet. If he does go back, he's got like a 6-month period where he has to re-enter the drug testing pool because he retired. When he retired, he was out of the USADA drug testing pool. So he goes back in. He'll still fight by the end of the year.
42 years old, right? He'll be?
Yeah, but he fought Mark Hunt, not last year, but the year before, and looked pretty good. I mean, again, it's UFC. They don't really do too many gimmick fights. They're doing one for CM Punk, but with Lesnar, I don't know. I guess he sees it as now or never. Or it's just a way to get the best possible WWE deal, which
that's what I'm thinking it is, but we'll see.
Would you guys rather Brock stayed at this point, or WWE not re-sign him?
Yes, definitely have him re-sign. Are you kidding me? He gives you an automatic great matchup no matter what. Yeah,
I think he's so different. He's so unique that he adds something every time he's on a show and every time he's there. So I agree. Glenn, I'm guessing you're the opposite.
With Brock, I think some time off TV would do him well at this point.
Glenn,
he always has time off TV.
But hang on, Glenn. Isn't your opinion though coming from him being a champion and being off TV? It's different without him being the champion and being away from TV. I think.
Yeah, because you could tell a story with that. Him being the and they think about how good it was when they told the story about Roman calling him a part-timer at first and calling out what we all thought and felt. So I think let him go away and come back. And I mean, I hate to say this, do the sort of Rocky thing where he's been defeated. He's coming back. He wants the big rematch and make Brock look a little more human. Rebuild him up. I think that's the way the WWE could do it. Because how do you say, oh, this guy's the dominant badass. Now he's off TV and he comes back.
Chances are he's going to be off TV anyway. He's not going to come back to be working more dates.
But he's not going to come back though as the where's his credibility?
Well, he doesn't. I mean, he's lost before. So.
Yeah, he has.
And
it's been a while.
Yeah, Goldberg. But you got Lashley, who's supposed to be coming in. There's an automatic feud there, and like you said, having him wanting to get the title back from Reigns. I think there's big stuff you could do with him. So.
Yeah,
and Strowman. I mean, there's just natural Samoa Joe, and except this time not have Lesnar beat everyone. Maybe have him lose a few of those and put Strowman over. I'd like to see Strowman go over Lesnar before getting to the world title.
I don't know. I just picture Vince McMahon in Titan Tower going, maybe there's room for a third Bludgeon brother.
With Brock, yeah, right? Yeah. Can you see Brock in that outfit with the mallet?
Please give Brock a gimmick. Please give Brock a gimmick coming back.
Yeah, no.
Let him be repackaged.
Brock's awesome. He doesn't need anything.
I know. Let him talk.
He almost stuttered. Hey, guys, he almost stuttered. I told you how this was sold to me. Vince very well could have been lying to me. Who knows?
All right. Well,
oh, man.
Crazy week.
Samoa Joe coming back.
Yeah, he's booked for Raw a week from Monday, so I'm almost guessing WrestleMania or the night after. So it's imminent. He's definitely cleared.
Yeah.
Good. Now WWE, here's your chance. You can start him all over again if you want to. Not like he doesn't lose. Badass. Give us that.
That looks like that's the plan. He's coming back. He's gonna be feuding with Roman this spring and going into the summer. So that's the feud for all the live events for the next couple months. So he's gonna be right at the top.
Great.
Maybe they're gonna keep those tag titles on Braun for a while then. If
that's the case.
Yeah, I mean Braun's a babyface. You know, Raw really needs some heels.
Does Braun go to SmackDown? Are they that stupid?
Who? Does
Braun go to SmackDown?
Oh, I don't think so. But I could see Owens coming to Raw because they need some heels bad on that side. They hardly have any. Now with Braun as a babyface, you got Samoa Joe and who else? You know, Brock. We don't know about his future. So
doesn't Vince have more to do with Raw than SmackDown?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So here's my problem with that. He always fucks with Kevin. Excuse my language. And Kevin Owens is one of my top 5 guys. But for whatever reason on Raw, right? Even when he was champion, they just didn't do him justice, I always thought.
He was kind of a fallback guy to Jericho during that reign. No, for sure. I'm sure Vince doesn't see Owens for sure where he sees a Strowman and that's why I don't want AJ going to Raw because that's always been a rumor with the superstar shakeup because it's clear he doesn't see AJ as he does a Reigns or a Strowman. So. But we'll see. But they badly need some heels on that side because they really got nobody.
Hey, Big Cass is coming back.
Big Cass, I could see them giving him a big push.
Make of that what they'll do with him. You know what I mean? I think they'll do what they do with all big guys. They'll give him a few months of just killing people. I'm assuming. Yeah. And then see how the fans take to him. That's what they did with Braun. If you go back and you remember, that's their formula for all of us. And it's up to us to make something of it and hope that the crowd takes us in, you know what I mean, and emotionally invests in us. And Braun caught fire, and he had a lot of things that went well. With the guy with no chin,
Ellsworth.
If you remember, Braun was just. What do we keep saying? He just keeps doing these squash matches. These are boring. That's what I used to get criticized for being online too. I remember, And all big guys do. But we go through that stint for about 2 months where we look like animals, but then they don't give us anybody good. We're just beating locals. And then when it's time to give us somebody good, they don't put us over. And Braun was about to go through that, and then they did the right thing. They let him start going over on some decent talents, and then he caught fire. So I hope with Kaz they're able to do something similar and not give up on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, online, I'm actually amazed how much speculation there is and how much the fans are going for who's going to be Braun's tag team partner. Who's going to team with Braun at WrestleMania? Yeah, I see that. That's probably now that Daniel Bryan is back and now that nobody cares about Undertaker anymore.
They care. Trust me.
They care. But now that Cena's made it so less cool, the Braun tag team speculation
is Cena effect.
I'm seeing the most.
That's AKA the Cena effect.
Yeah.
Whenever he starts trying to and put over AJ during their segments, when he tried to put over Joe, I remember, I'm like, stop saying their name. You're making them uncool. Stop. You're not helping. No.
Yeah, that could have been the biggest match on the show, and they if it's happening, they effed it up. If it's just a segment with Taker beating up Cena, I think there's going to be a lot of people disappointed. Because a lot of people are expecting that to be a match with how it's been built.
Oh, man. We'll know in a couple days.
Yeah.
It's almost here. Raj is off to Louisiana.
I'm off to New Orleans.
Going down to New Orleans, like the song that we're only going to hear 1,000 more times in the next week.
And we'll be back on Saturday after Takeover. So I'm going to be watching Takeover on my flight on my phone. And we'll be back here in time for our post-Takeover podcast, the 3 of us. So make sure to join us. And if you're in New Orleans during the afternoons, I'll be on Bourbon Street with a bunch of Wrestling Inc. T-shirts. So come say hi and get a free T-shirt.
Nice.
And guys, as many of you possible that are going to Mania, all you overseas fans that are going to hog those hard camera seats, make sure you go out of your way to write up yourself a WrestlingInc.com sign so we can see it.
Absolutely. You'll get a call out on this show.
Yep.
Be sweet. What else we got before we take this home here?
Any big takeover predictions? Let's run the top matches real quick.
North American title tournament.
Yeah, it's a 6-way. Adam Cole, EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream. I'm going Adam Cole.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Velveteen Dream.
Oh man, I could see it being Velveteen, Ricochet, or EC3. I mean, really, any of these guys. This is a stacked match.
It is. I think it's a little soon for EC3.
Well, I was going to say it automatically would make him, though, wouldn't it, too? So I could see that being the reason, but I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
And I would say that could be match of the weekend, except for Gargano versus Ciampa, which unsanctioned.
I think Gargano's got to get the win, right? He's lost too many times. I think he's got to win here.
I don't care about these two.
Really?
I know I'm the only one. I get it. But, yeah, I don't care about these two.
I mean, this is long-term storytelling, the likes of which the WWE does not normally partake in. Undisputed Era, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Authors of Pain versus Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne for the NXT Tag Team Championship and the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Trophy.
But it was Kyle O'Reilly and who?
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe they win it, and then someone else wins the North American title.
This could be the Authors of Pain last NXT match.
Yeah, I'm sure Authors of Pain are heading to the main roster after this, and I think Andrade Cien Almas is too. I think he loses to Aleister Black in the main event.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler.
I'm going
Ember Moon.
I think she might be heading to the main roster too. I think she's the one. Her and the Iconic Duo, I think, are both kind of ready. So I almost think Baszler and Ember Moon goes for the rematch and loses this summer and heads to the main roster later this summer.
Oh, I mean, she's about to. She's all
sorry, we lost you there, Matt. But you know, with Almas too, I could see him not going yet. He loses and then has the rematch, loses that, and then ends up on the main roster. That's kind of the formula that they stick to.
Yeah,
but cool.
Going to be a packed weekend. Hall of Fame Friday night on the WWE Network. Takeover Saturday. WrestleMania
I might be
Sunday.
at the Hall of Fame. We'll see. There's so much stuff going on. Trying to figure out the schedule. But have you guys been?
I went to Dallas 2 years ago.
Are you supposed to get dressed up or anything like that?
For Hall of Fame? No, I didn't go to Hall of Fame. No, it seems like the plebes that bought tickets are just kind of there and whatever.
I would if I were you, Raj, because you're representing your website, your shows, covering these guys. I just would look professional.
Yeah. Then I can't wear my Wrestling Inc. shirt.
You could put like a blazer over it.
Yeah. That's true. Could wear it with a blazer.
Yeah. We went to Hall of Fame, or we went to Access Hall of Fame night in Dallas, and that was like a weird Access session, but it was a lot of fun because it was just like the most random assortment of wrestlers doing signings and matches and stuff. But no, this year looks good. They've successfully this year made me wish we decided to go with everything that's going on.
Yeah. It'll be a wild weekend, so check us out all week.
Cool, man. BP Matt Morgan on the Twitter and Instagram. Matt, how's things going in Longwood?
Going great. Follow me on Matt Morgan for Longwood on Facebook. Matt Morgan for Longwood.
Awesome. He is Raj Giri _303. And of course, Wrestling Inc. this week is going to be blowing up with the latest news, everything that's happening in the world of professional wrestling. WrestleMania, biggest week of the year. I'm Glenn Rubenstein. Please follow me on Twitter at Glenn Rubenstein. And we'll see y'all back here Saturday night, right after NXT TakeOver, to talk about everything that has happened. And until next time, folks, we'll see you back here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.